Dear students, after studying this module, you shall be able to know about SN1 reactions, learn how SN1 reaction works, identify the key aspects of SN1 reaction, and also evaluate mechanism and factors which affect the SN1 reaction. Let us introduce you to the very interesting topic of SN1 reaction. Ingold and Hughes coined the term SN1, that is substitution, nucleophilic and unimolecular, which depends on only substrate concentration. That is, the rate of the reaction only depends on the concentration of the involved substrate. Nucleophilic substitution reaction occurs when the substrate and the nucleophile react together in a two-step process, where the first step involves leaving group denoted as Lg, and it leaves first and leads to the formation of a carbocation intermediate, while the second step involves the nucleophilic attack, wherein the nucleophile attacks the intermediate carbocation which was formed in the first step. Let us go into more details about the SN1 reaction after having introduced it to you. Nucleophilic substitution reactions that follow first order kinetics are known as SN1 reactions. The rate of first order reactions, as I already told you, depends only upon the concentration of the substrate which is involved. These reactions can be completed in the following manner. First of all, the CX, that is the hetero bond, undergoes heterolysis, that is a heterolytic cleavage in the first step, which is also known as the dissociation. The positively charged carbon that is produced in the first step is called a carbocation and is of major importance in the SN1 reactions. In the second step, which follows the first one, the nucleophile forms bonds to the carbon of the carbocation. In this is called as heterogenesis. Now this is clearly shown here in this figure. The mechanism is as follows. So as described, the first step is the slow and the rate determining step, which is the formation of carbocation, and second is the attack of the nucleophile, which gives rise to the product after its attack on the carbocation intermediate. Let us now study about the kinetics of SN1 reaction. The SN1 reaction is initiated by the dissociation of the leaving group and the formation of the carbocation intermediate in the first step. After formation of the carbocation intermediate, the nucleophile takes part in the second step. Increasing or decreasing the concentration of nucleophile has no measurable effect on the rate of SN1 reaction. The nucleophile is not involved in the initial step of rate determination. Thus, the concentration of the nucleophile or its change, increase or decrease does not affect the overall reaction rate. This reaction follows first order kinetics henceforth. The reaction is first order with respect to the alkyl halide in this example, while zero order with respect to the nucleophile. Putting it in this way, rate is equal to the rate constant followed by the concentration of the substrate. The energy profile diagram of a typical SN1 reaction is shown here in this figure, students, and you can see first step is the slow step, which is the formation of carbocation, which is relatively higher in energy, followed by the attack of nucleophile, which is relatively lower in energy. The SN1 reactions are sometimes also referred to as solvolysis reactions. Let us now study, after the kinetics of SN1 reaction, the stereochemical features of SN1 reaction. When a reaction is proceeding by SN1 mechanism, then inversion and retention of configuration will occur. That is, the amount of each, that is the inverted product and the retented product, depends on various factors. In case the substrate is optically active, the carbonium ion is flat, that is of trigonal hybridization, and hence attack by the nucleophilic reagent can take place equally on either sides. This means that equal amounts of plus and minus forms of the product will be henceforth produced. The result is racemization, that is the 50-50 mixture of plus and minus enantiomers. As mentioned earlier, this is broad generalization, and the composition of product, that is the enantiomers which are formed, depends on several experimental conditions. As a possible explanation is that departing group shields the side carbon atom at which it was attached, so that the incoming nucleophile is more easily approached from the other side. This is clearly shown here. As you can see in this example, the inversion and the retention of configuration is shown to you. Paying attention to this example, here we take up the R1-chloro-1-phenylbutane, which undergoes solvolysis in water, leading to optically inactive products of alcohols which are enantiomeric, but due to their formation of in equal amounts, that is a racemic mixture, thus the whole mixture obtained is optically inactive. Here you can see this example here clearly. Next we come on to the factors which influence the SN1 reaction. First factor is the solvent. The rate of reaction can be affected by the energy level of the reagents. Solvation of the carbocation allows the carbocation to be surrounded by more electron density. That is, since it is positively charged, so it will attract the negative end of the solvent, thus making the positive charge more stable. The solvent can be protic or aprotic, but it must be polar in order to stabilize the intermediate carbocation. Polar protic solvents have a hydrogen atom attached to an electronegative atom, so the hydrogen is highly polarized. Polar aprotic solvents have a good dipole moment, that is a relatively good dipole moment, but their hydrogen is not highly polarized. Polar aprotic solvents are not used in SN1 reactions because some of them can react with the carbocation intermediates itself and lead to unwanted products in the reaction. Thus, polar protic solvents are highly preferred in SN1 reactions, which also helps to speed up the rate of reaction due to large dipole moment of the solvent, which helps to stabilize the transition state, which is the carbocation. The highly positive and the highly negative parts interact with the substrate to lower the energy of the transition state. Since the carbocation is unstable, anything that can stabilize this even a little will speed up the reaction. Now you can see here this carbocation formed in the transition state is actually stabilized by acetonitrile. You can see here as a solvent here. Sometimes in an SN1 reaction, the solvent acts as the nucleophile, known also as the solvolysis reaction. The polarity and the ability of the solvent to stabilize the intermediate carbocation is very important, as shown by the relative rate data for the solvolysis in the next table. The dielectric constant of the solvent provides a measure of the solvent's polarity. A dielectric constant anywhere below 15 is usually considered non-polar, hence not suited for an SN1 reaction. Thus, higher the dielectric constant, more polar will be the substance, and hence in the case of SN1 reaction, faster will be the rate of reaction due to greater stabilization of the carbocation intermediate involved. Now here is a table which shows you the dielectric constant of various common solvents. As you can see, acetic acid has a dielectric constant of 6. So in case if it is used for SN1 reaction, the relative rate would be only 1. Methanol has a high dielectric constant because of oxygen atom, almost the highest electronegative atom in the periodic table after fluorine. So the relative rate becomes 4. However, if you consider water, it has a dielectric constant of 78, which is almost more than double than that of methanol. So the relative rate is 1,50,000. The example given here illustrates this particular concept. As you can see here, this particular reaction is carried out both in methanol and in water, and the relative rates are 4 and 1,50,000 respectively in methanol and water. So you can appreciate how solvent is affecting the rate and the speed of SN1 reactions. Nucleophile is the second factor which affects the SN1 reaction. Nucleophiles involved in the SN1 mechanism are mostly weak and neutral molecules, that is water or alcohols. The strength of the nucleophile does not affect the reaction rate of SN1 reaction because the nucleophile is involved in the rate determining step. However, if you have more than one nucleophile competing to bond with the carbocation, the strengths and the concentration of those nucleophiles will affect the distribution of the products and the nature of the products which are formed. Let us take an example to illustrate this. For example, if you have this substrate named trimethyl chloromethane reacting in water and formic acid, where the water and formic acid are competing nucleophiles, you will get two different products. First is the alcohol and second is an acid. And this relative yields of these two products depends on the concentrations and relative reactivities of the nucleophiles which are involved. And you can see this as we have plotted this reaction or given this reaction here for your suitability. Third is the factor is a substrate. The hyperconjugation and the inductive effects allow alkyl groups to stabilize their corresponding carbocations. The more stable the carbocation intermediate has a lower activation energy barrier, so SN1 reaction they occur faster. In general, SN1 reaction is favored in this order: benzylic greater than allylic, greater than tertiary, greater than secondary, greater than primary and greater than the methyl carbocation. Substrates wherein the leaving group, that is Lg, is on a tertiary carbon will lead to a reaction in the presence of a good nucleophile. Since primary carbocations are highly energetically unfavorable, as a rule of thumb, they generally do not form. The rate of hydrolysis of alkyl halide is in the order of halides, that is tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary greater than the methyl halide. Thus, we can say the electronic factor is more important than the steric factor. The energy of activation for the carbocation intermediate will be highest for methyl halide, that is primary, while least for the tertiary. The molecules in which carbon next to the site of substitution contains a double bond, the SN1 reaction is possible. The reason is that the positive charge on the carbocation can be delocalized among multiple possible resonance structures, that is resonance and delocalization, making the carbocation dramatically stable. This effect can occur when the carbon atom of the interest is next to the double bond, that is the allylic or benzene ring, benzylic. In allylic cases, the delocalization of the positive charge, the nucleophile can attack at multiple sites, while this effect is absent in case of benzylic systems due to the need to preserve aromaticity. For example, the allylic carbocation can form two different resonance structures. Both are available for the reaction, that is they are available as reaction sites, as can be seen in the figure. In the first example, we end up with similar carbocation intermediates, but we have a different situation in the second example where we have a secondary and a tertiary carbocation intermediate. Thus, second reaction will lead to a tertiary product through stable tertiary carbocation intermediate formation. This is clearly shown to you here with the example of bromo compound which is unsaturated, leading to formation of the allylic carbocations and their rearrangement by delocalization and resonance, giving rise to the more stable tertiary compounds. If there is a benzylic carbocation, however students, it is also resonance stabilized, but only the carbocation on the benzylic position is reactive and retains the aromaticity, and this can be shown here as follows. You can see here, because it has to retain the aromaticity of the ring, it cannot attack on any other places like we saw in the allylic system. It can only attack at the specified position where the carbocation has been formed or where the positive charge is created. The next factor which affects the SN1 reaction is the leaving group. The leaving group is almost always expelled with a full negative charge so as to form a proper positive charge in the remaining or the intermediate carbocation. The best leaving groups are those that can stabilize an anion, that is, they are weak bases. SN1 reaction speeds up with a good leaving group. This is because the leaving group is involved in the rate determination step. A good leaving group wants to leave, so it breaks the carbon leaving group bond faster. Examples of leaving group are, that is, I am stating from good to the pure ones. First will be mesyl, then tosyl, triflet ion, ammonium, water, iodide, bromide, chloride, fluoride, and then along with the fluoride it is hydroxyl and amine, NH2 minus. You can see here, as the anion gets smaller, it becomes a poor leaving group, and as the corresponding anion is bigger, it becomes a good leaving group. As you go from left to right on the periodic table, electron donating ability decreases, and thus ability to be a good leaving group also increases. Halides are an example, or you can say a good example of good leaving groups, whose leaving group ability increases as you go down the group. Other examples of good leaving groups are methyl sulfate ion and other sulfonate ions. As stated before, in case of halides, the order is from good to poor: iodide greater than bromide, greater than chloride, greater than fluoride. For example, the two reactions below are same reactions done with two different leaving groups. One is significantly faster than the other. This is because the better leaving groups, they leave faster from the substrate, and thus the reaction can proceed also in a faster rate. Now you can see, we will have the examples of the SN1 reactions after having discussed the various factors and the kinetics of the SN1 reaction. First example is the bromination, that is the SN1 mechanism for reaction of alcohols with HBr. Step 1 is the acid-base reaction in these kind of reactions. This involves protonation of the alcoholic oxygen to make it a better leaving group. This step is fast and reversible. The lone pairs on the oxygen make it a Lewis base. Step 2 is a rate determining step. Cleavage of the carbon-oxygen bond allows the loss of the leaving group, a neutral water molecule, to give a carbocation intermediate. Step 3 is the attack of the nucleophilic bromide ion on the electrophilic carbocation, which creates the alkyl bromide, which is the product. This reaction is clearly shown to you here in this figure. Second example we will consider, that is a rearrangement reaction in SN1 reactions. Carbocation intermediates, once formed, rearranges or the rearrangement takes place, can potentially occur, which include SN1 reaction, even elimination and electrophilic addition to double bonds. Some examples are given here, which involve either hydride shift or alkyl shift. First is, consider the secondary halide here shown. The formation of a tertiary carbocation is favored to form the corresponding tertiary ether as shown to you. in favor of the secondary ether which would have been formed. So, the tertiary carbocation is more stable than the secondary one, thus this product is favored. Second example, if you see this figure, consider this secondary cyclic alcohol, that is the cyclic compound is the cyclopentane. The halogenation of the alcohol gives the more stable tertiary alcohol in place of the secondary one. The next example, consider this unsaturated halide, and the major product formed here is a secondary substituted product. As we discussed the stability of allylic carbocations, here also the same rule holds, and thus the nucleophile can attack at both the places. However, the primary is not favored, the secondary is favored. So, majority will be the nucleophile on the secondary carbocation option which is formed. Now students, after having studied in minute details about the SN1 reaction, the kinetics, the factors affecting it and various important examples, let us now summarize this module. SN1 stands for substitution nucleophilic unimolecular. It is a two-step process and involves initial ionization to form a carbocation intermediate followed by nucleophilic attack leading to the product. The SN1 process exhibits first order kinetics and solely is dependent on the concentration of the substrate which is involved. The rate of overall reaction is dependent on several factors including the structure of the substrate, solvent, leaving group and other factors as discussed. We have also taught you that stereochemically reactions or the stereochemically preferred reactions proceeding via the SN1 mechanism are usually attended with racemization of the product, that is inversion and retention both take place. The intermediate carbocation tends to be planar or sp2 hybridized in this case. So, students, in chemistry SN1 reactions, they hold a very important place, and I hope through this module you have learnt a lot about the SN1 reactions, their mechanisms, factors affecting them and their kinetics and various important examples.